Welcome, everyone. Happy April. Happy spring. Thank you for zooming in. Let's start by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have our guest speakers here with us tonight. Mrs. Borelli, Mr. Velarde, whoever would like to go first.
Mr. Willardy, you could go first this time. Because I know
All
a lot that you're going to say has to do on behalf of both our schools because we've been doing quite a bit this past month together. So I'm going to have you share that wonderful information.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Brown. Thank you, Mrs. Green. Thank you, PTA. It is absolutely crazy that we are in April. We are about a month out from testing. We are like 9 weeks away from summer break already, which is wild, but who's counting? Hey, so March was very busy. April is off to a busy start, and with spring break coming up next week, we got a lot going on. At Lincoln School, in our win periods, we are still focusing very heavy on math and ELA support. We are starting to gear up that intensity as we start approaching the testing season, starting to get them comfortable and acclimated with some mock assessments and whatnot. Internally, we have begun the planning for NJSLA this year, which is important. So our math testing is going to be May 7th, 8th, and 9th. We will follow up the following week with ELA on the 13th and 14th. That's Monday and Tuesday. And then the 15th and 16th, our fifth graders only have our science testing. We cannot encourage you enough to allow your kids to take the assessment. It is extremely important. There are a lot of elements that go into this, and it does get tied to our state funding. So it's really important that we sit for the assessment. We are doing everything we can to get our students prepared for this, and really ease the stress and anxiety of it. This year at Lincoln School, again, we will be running the 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour as their time to come in, get settled, grab breakfast, decompress a little bit, and get in the right frame of mind for everything. But again, we encourage, if there are 7 days that we need you to send everybody to school each and every day that week, those are the 7 days. We want to make sure everybody's in that right frame of mind before we get going. Our fifth graders, they are starting to wrap up their lead program already with the East Rutherford Police Department. I'm actually in conversations right now with Sergeant Alberta and Sergeant Felton, who are both planning a fun way to close out the ceremony this year. They want to take our kids on a little mini trip. So we are working for that. More details for the fifth grade families to come. Our Pi Day challenge today was extremely successful, held on March 14th. This year's grand champion was able to recite 228 digits worth of pi. Very impressive feat to watch them go and rattle off these numbers. So I want to make sure I thank Miss Breen, because she was one of the winners, we'll call it, who took a pie to the face in front of everybody. Mr. Wagner and myself, we seem to be annual targets. I'm not quite sure why. But it's part of the job, I guess. On March 27th, we held our internet safety presentation. So all of our 4th through 8th graders, they met with Miss Melissa Straub, who has a vast authority. She was a private investigator. She worked as a police officer, as a school counselor. So she shared some tips and tricks for students to keep themselves safe, focus on kindness online and cyberbullying. And then that same night, she came back and did our parent presentation. We did have about 20 or so parents, so we're hoping that next time we can increase that. But most importantly, her message was extremely strong and not meant to just scare everybody away, but just to raise awareness to some of the things that our kids have access to at the palm of their hand. And just to really, the underarching theme of the whole night was keep your lines of communication open with your children. It's extremely important. The last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of major staff fundraisers. We like to often hold Jeans Days for a good cause. So some near and dear to us this month, we held one for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, where there was a $900 district-wide donation to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And just this week, we did our Light It Up Blue for Autism Awareness. So we're always excited to kind of add that civics piece to it and give back whatever we can. Next week, we are going to be running our Spirit Week to close out the month. Well, not the month, but the time right before spring break. We are starting with the theme for Monday will be Total Eclipse of the Heart, and we're encouraging everyone to wear black and red for the eclipse. Please keep in mind that on the 8th with the eclipse, we are not running any after-school activities district-wide. The only exception would be the YMCA aftercare program remains as scheduled, but we want to make sure all of our students get home quickly and safely to make sure. And remember, as is all the time, best practice, don't stare up at the sun. Just a reminder that the marking period does close this Friday. Report cards go live next Friday, which is the half day before spring break. Obviously, spring break buildings are closed the week of the 15th rather. Some future happenings at Lincoln School, and then I can close it out. As mentioned last time, our spring showcase scheduled for May 30th is on the radio this year. Our field trip to the Patterson Museum in Great Falls and the Negro League Baseball Museum is June 5th. Our field day is slated for June 6th. And a major update to the district calendar. Everybody should have received this information, but we did get our snow days back. So we will have half days on June 13th and June 14th. The final day of school, Monday, June 17th, also a half day. As always, keep an eye out on communications as things pick up this spring. There will be more coming out from all three building principals, but thank you so much as always for your support. Spring is here and it is flying. So we look forward to what's to come. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Velarde,
Velarde.
you mentioned Pi Day, so I am just sharing the pictures on our Twitter from your Twitter feed.
Oh, poor Mrs. Breen. She was such a good trooper.
There you go.
Mr. Wagner makes it an annual tradition to wear his beekeeper outfit to keep himself nice and safe. And Miss Breen, you're here tonight. So again, thank you for being a champ.
I think that's you.
That is me. It was the nicest tying I've ever gotten. I was like, if you're gonna get me good.
So thank you all for doing that.
Any questions for Mr. Velarde? Please feel free to put in the chat.
So far, no questions in the chat.
Thank you, Mr. Velarde. Mrs. Barra.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Velarde, who shared quite a bit that we've done together, especially the fundraisers that the staff has been doing with the Autism Acceptance Week, as well as the cystic fibrosis, and anything that we can offer our help with. We're always on board just to contribute to do the best that we can for people that are in need. The good point right there too was the graduation. I'm glad you brought that up because now it's changed the 8th grade because of the date. So the 8th grade graduation is now going to be on the 17th, which is the last day of school. It will be at Becton. And then I'll have the breakfast the night before for the 8th grade parents that want to know. There'll be more coming out there for that information. Next week, we got a couple of fun things going up. It's the week before spring break. So we're going to have the CATS reward program where our students will get together. We'll have a little time spent on with their friends, either play a couple of games. It's kind of like a SEL day, a nice relaxed day. I believe we're going to, at this point, we're going to give them pizza for that day. So we try to reward them in every way that we can because they're always working so hard. And when you walk around my halls, you could see in the classrooms, the teachers are just always on with the students. There's never a dull moment in any of those classes, especially as Mr. Velarde said. Now that testing's coming, we have to be a little more creative as well. But I mean, as far as that goes, there's, just make sure that your child gets plenty of sleep the night before, has breakfast. So we'll be taking care of all of that on our end in school. The one thing that we did do also in March was the Read Across America. So our National Junior Honor Society not only went to Mr. Velarde's school, also went to Mr. Barrow's school. They read some books. They had a great time. They were really excited when they came back. The other thing we're going to do next week is our oh, look at that. Oh, that's such a nice picture. First time I'm seeing it. Next week, our arts program is going to perform for Mr. Velarde's school, 4th and 5th grade. We're going to have a little presentation from our art program, plus our music, our theater, and our dance program. So we're going to put on a little show for the younger ones. So when they come up by us, they'll see what they have to look forward to. Women's History Month. Okay, we celebrated that. We recognize that. Just trying to report cards. Of course, they always come out right before a special week off. So that's coming up on Friday. And we are going to have another pep rally coming up. It's going to be on the 24th. So once we get back from break, we're going to have a recharge and we're going to have our pep rally again. Thank you, Mr. Velarde, for allowing us to use your gym. The last one was great. We had a lot of fun. And we also have our Spirit Weeks coming up Pajama Day is one of the favorites for our students. And for now, I think that's about it. Back then, we had the math and ELA and Spanish placement tests. They came to our school and they gave our students the tests. And I think for now, we're really good. I just want everybody to have a very nice spring break. Enjoy. Hopefully it'll be nicer weather. I'm looking out the window right now and I feel like I'm in a hurricane. It's scary, really scary. So any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here right now. If you have anything that you want to share or you have a question, I'm more than happy to answer.
Mrs. Barali, we have one question in the chat. 8th grade graduation. Can you go over the dates for that again?
The 8th grade graduation is now going to be on the 17th of June. So that's going to be the last day. We cannot do it the week before or the Friday before because that is Becton's graduation. So the only day we have open would be the Monday on the 17th when we come back. So our breakfast, which I always have with our 8th graders together for the last time in Faust School, that'll be on the 16th instead of the day after graduation. So we had to change things up a little bit, just to work with Becton, and they always work with us, and having so many people in the audience, that is the best place for it. We would like, sometimes we do it outside, but being that we're strapped for time, we don't know what the weather will hold. So we don't, have a rain date of anything set for that. And it's comfortable inside that big auditorium for everyone. So that's the graduation. It's now on the 17th.
Thank you. There were no other questions in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Borelli. It sounds like Wizard of Oz out there. I'm like, there's no place like home. Mrs. Borelli, Mr. Velarde, I know Mr. Barrow couldn't make it tonight. Were there any updates for Mackenzie by any chance?
Well, as Mr. Barrow would always say, please look at the website and Mackenzie, you'll get your current information. Basically, he didn't leave any details, but I'm sure the next time he comes, he'll be sharing quite a bit. But they're having a lot of good times over there too in Mackenzie. I wish I could give you more, but unfortunately I can't right now.
No
So
problem.
that's
Just
all.
thought to check in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Borelli. Okay. Correspondence, Kevin?
My page is blank today. I have no correspondence this month. Sorry.
Thank you, Kevin. Treasurer's report. Unfortunately, Paula is stuck with her tax deadline. She is an accountant, so she's trying to reach tax deadline. But she did want to let us know that our account balances as of March 31st were for PTA 14,733 and 13 cents. Eighth grade committee 5,596 and 76 cents, and we're balanced. And to check out the treasurer's report, as it will be posted on the district website. Membership, unfortunately, Alyssa, our membership chair, could not be here tonight, but she did want to mention that our membership numbers stand at 241 members. So thank you for your support. Eighth grade committee couldn't be with us either tonight, unfortunately, but they did want to mention a few updates. They wanted to say thank you to all our parent volunteers for making our last two events a success. Our March dance made $1,017, and our basketball fundraiser, eighth grade versus ERPD, 511. Eighth grade ended up beating our ERPD 78 to 64. Through the fence, it could have been their ERPD had just played Becton the night before or 2 days before. So maybe that's why, but we'll take the win for eighth grade. It was a good game. And the next fundraising event they have for eighth grade will be their April spring dance, which is Friday the 26th. And they are asking for chaperones and donations to be used toward pizza and other treats. So please reach out to PTA, and we will then reach out to eighth grade committee and Miss Yucklow if you can donate or volunteer for the dance. So please let us know. And finally, eighth grade committee wanted to say thank you to Mrs. Borelli and the awesome Faust staff for all that you do. Old business. Please be sure to check out our March meeting minutes and the treasurer's report on the district website for any important information that you may have missed at our meetings. We didn't mention this at our last month's meeting. We had our cookie decorating parties from our December toy drive. We did have some pictures. I'm not sure if there we are. We are able to share them, so check them out. It was third grade, Mrs. Schlesinger's class at Mackenzie. And those are the pictures you're seeing right now. And then we had fifth grade, Miss Disterovich's homeroom at Lincoln. And then for Faust, it was Mrs. Alberta's sixth grade class. They did theirs before we went on winter break. So thank you to all three homerooms for donating the most toys towards our toy drive. Coin challenge. We wanted to say thank you for supporting. The winning grade with the most raised money is second grade. With all three schools' effort, we were able to raise a combined total of $3,164.24. We have a little breakdown there, if you can see. Thank you for your support and all your efforts. The money will be used towards our end of the year efforts, as we have field day and other stuff coming up for end of year. Kids Night Out, Tara.
Hi, everybody. So Kids Night Out, Lincoln School, we did it on a Friday night. And as you can see in the pictures, it was a glow up party. So there was enough glowing necklaces and batons and all sorts of attire that could light up the whole room. And the kids just had such a blast with it. The Saturday we had for Mackenzie students, and that was carnival themed. So we had some carnival games there. And again, everybody just had a little bit of something that they enjoyed. There was tattoos, photo booth, pizza galore, lots of snacks, dancing. So we just wanted to thank all of the parents and children that made this event possible. Thank you to our principals, the administrators, and all the teachers. Paul DeRosa for allowing us to use the community center, our parent volunteers for setup, cleanup, and the Friday and Saturday during the events, and all the PTA board members. It really takes a village, and this is two pretty big events, so lots of planning went involved. Others that made this event possible, we had wonderful donations from Master Pizza in Carlstadt, Ralph's Pizza, and Mr. Pizza here in East Rutherford. ShopRite of Wallington provided donations. Paula and Diego for the empanadas on the parent appreciation table. DJ Geo for keeping us dancing and entertained all night. And Minute to Win It parties provided the carnival games. So thank you so much, and I'm so glad everybody had a great time.
Thank you, Tara, and Kids Night Out Committee. Thank you very much for everything you did to make this possible. It was another amazing event. So thank you, thank you, thank you. New business. I see Mr. G has joined us. Thank you, Mr. G, for joining us. Wanted to check in to see if you had any updates for us this month.
Yes, thank you so much. I was in another meeting. My life is a meeting. So my apologies for being late. I just wanted to
No problem.
everyone and happy, spring. I can't believe it's April. We only have a couple of weeks left of school. I can't believe that we're even saying that, and we're getting closer and closer to graduation. Other than just the calendar change that was approved by the Board of Education last month, we did end our school year 2 days earlier on June 17th, which I know was made mention last time when last PTA meeting. A couple of things: the schools are getting ready now for their state testing. One of the things, even though we don't put a lot of pressure on our students, we just want them to really showcase their talents and how hard they've worked all year with all the content areas that we are assessed on in language arts, literacy, mathematics, and science. One of the things I just wanted to bring to light to parents is just making sure that our students stay healthy and attend school every single day. We did go through our CUSAC review, and we did quite well. We're just waiting for the actual letter that comes from Trenton to say that the East Rutherford School District passed and that we will continue to be a high-performing district, which is really, really nice to know, and that we are proud of here as an administrative team, that we're able to lead the charge with such wonderful Wildcats that we have in our parent community, which is great. One of the biggest things is making sure that our children come to school every single day. Not only are we held accountable for the test scores that we have in our school district, but absenteeism. So if our absenteeism has become what they call chronic absenteeism, where our numbers are plummeting, that directly affects our performance as a school district. So again, as a school district, we really hold our parents accountable just as much as our parents hold us accountable as a school district, that we are a team, we are equal. And one of the things is that making sure that our school district continues to be high performing. So any assistance that we can have by our parents, making sure that our children show up to school every single day, by all means, if they're sick, keep them home, right? We keep them home if we don't want to spread, any illnesses that can then come into school. But if we can get our children to come to school every single day, will be a great help. I don't have anything else major on the agenda, but I am here available to any questions that the parents may have at the board level that I could answer. I'm more than happy to answer any of those questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. G, for joining us. Any questions? Please feel free to put it in the chat.
There are no questions in the chat.
Thank you, Kevin. Mr. G, thank you again for joining us tonight.
No problem. My pleasure as always.
Okay, new business. We have our getting ready for field day. Field day t-shirts. Please have them returned to your child's homeroom teacher by this Friday the 5th. We sent them home about a few weeks ago, so please make sure you send them in so that we have your child's size and we can order your t-shirt. We are placing the order during spring break so that we have them in time for field day. Our field day t-shirt design contest, we want to say thank you to all the students that entered and to our teachers, Mrs. Spear and Ms. Mashir, for collaborating with us again and to help PTA with the field day t-shirt design. We are currently reviewing all the designs and will announce the winners from each school at next month's meeting. There will be a winner from one from Mackenzie, one from Lincoln, and one from Faust. We are looking forward to seeing the winners. So thank you. Vino and Vinyasa, Tara.
So we brought back the Vino and Vinyasa. We're going to have it on Tuesday, April 30th at 7 o'clock. It will start. We'll open up the doors a little bit before that, and we'll get this flyer out to everybody. It's a 45-minute yoga class, a BYOB, and it was just a lot of fun the last time that we did it, and everybody, felt like it was a great Tuesday night event. So yeah, you can email me with any questions or for signing up.
Thank you, Tara. Tricky Tray and box card fundraisers, Jill.
All right. So everyone should have received, sent home with their students, a flyer, just kind of requesting some additional donations. We have been getting a ton of donations coming in from a variety of different places, all kinds of activities, restaurants, places to go with your family, lots of different things. So we're really excited about it. So we are hoping to have all of the donations sent into the schools by next Friday before spring break, so we can get working on kind of packaging everything and wrapping them before the event. So we did send home a flyer with recommendations for each of the grade levels to send in, but honestly, if you want to pick anything on that list and send something in, we will take any of the donations. There's also a way, if you prefer and want to just send Venmo or something like that, we'd be happy to do that and then purchase the items ourselves. So whatever is easier for everybody is fine with us. But we have a lot of really great prizes that we are excited to be raffling off. Tickets are going to start going on sale hopefully in the next 2 weeks. So we'll be sending out information with how to register, how to sign up, get a table, purchase tickets, what comes with it, all those types of things. So be on the lookout for that really, really soon. And if you have any additional donations, or again, if you wanted to assist with anything, please just definitely let us know. We're always looking for help, and we're definitely going to need help the night of the event, running prizes and all kinds of things like that. And then the other piece was, the cards. So we are going to try a new fundraiser this year. We are finalizing the exact dates, but you should be hearing from us very soon about it. But we found a company that we can sell greeting cards by like the box. So it comes in a box of 30. There's different themes. So for example, there's a holiday card theme, there's a kid's birthday party theme, there's like an all-inclusive kind of theme. So each box comes with 30 greeting cards. For I believe it's $30. So they're roughly $1 a card. And then we do get a portion of the proceeds from that. So we figured it might be something new. I was saying earlier, I am that person who's running to the dollar store before every birthday party because I never remember to get a card. So if I had a box in my house, it would be very helpful. And I'd rather some of the money go back to the PTA than to the dollar store. So be on the lookout for that as something new we're going to try, and hopefully people enjoy it and find it useful. And I think that was everything.
Thank you, Jill. You have a lot going on. This is a very bittersweet moment. It's nominating committee time. What this means is this is an election year for us. All our board positions are up for election. Our local NJPTA bylaws, Article 6, Section 8, require that a nominating committee be elected at our membership meeting at least 60 days preceding the election of officers. For local PTAs like us, the president and principal may not serve on the nominating committee and may have no part in its deliberations. No school or district administrator shall serve on the nominating committee within the district where he or she is employed. The members of the nominating committee have a tremendous influence on the future of our PTA and are carefully selected. Nominating committees are viewed as wise, tactful, persuasive, and as having broad acquaintance with membership. Members of the nominating committee are elected on merit and ability and never on popularity. Members of the nominating committee are not excluded from becoming nominees for elected office. Thus, nominating committee members cannot be deprived of the right to hold office by being elected to the nominating committee. Our nominating committee shall consist of at least 3 members, as specified in our local NJPTA bylaws, and are going to be elected at tonight's meeting. We are electing Carrie Breen, Jessica DeVega, and Holly Wagner. So please, Jessica, Carrie, and Holly, stay on after the meeting is over tonight, so we can discuss nominating committee. Thank you for accepting. At this time, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat.
There are no questions in the chat.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Our next meeting is Wednesday, May 1st at 7 p.m. on Zoom. And then we did have some important dates. I don't know if you want to put that slide back up, Kevin, just so everybody could take a look on our school calendar for next week. We have a 1 session day on April the 12th to start our spring break. We have no school for spring break, April the 15th through 29th. We hope everybody enjoys spring break.
And just to reiterate, the school schedule at the end of the year that has changed. June 13th and 14th half days, and June 17th will be a half day and the last day of school. And that is on the ERBOE website.
We also wanted to say some well wishes. We want to say happy Passover to all who celebrate, as that's coming up. Happy Administrative Professionals Day to all our district administrative professionals. Thank you for all you do to keep our district and schools running. I know for PTA, we are always hitting all our administrative professionals for help with things. So thank you for all you do. Enjoy spring break, everyone. Thank you for zooming in. And again, remember Wednesday, May 1st, 7 p.m. on Zoom is our next meeting. And once nominating committees set up, please contact them if you are interested in getting on the PTA board. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.